Yeah. Man, I thought I was going to be reviewing a good Godzilla movie. What am I reviewing again? Oh. This one. What do you think about it, little G? Hey guys, it's Rodimus Primal and I'm back with another video, and today I'm bringing you guys a review for the second Godzilla movie I ever saw. And actually, it's not one that most Godzilla fans have a fondness for either. That is All Monsters Attack, or as those of us in the US know it, as Godzilla's Revenge. Now you're probably wondering why this, of all Godzilla movies, was my second. Well, here in the New York area, after seeing King Kong vs. Godzilla, we saw an advertisement on our local WPIX 11 with a 2-day, 8 Godzilla movie marathon.
He's mean, green, and making the New York scene. The Godzilla-thon starts Saturday at noon on Channel 11.
Now that was one heck of a weekend because I watched it through on both days, and my job was to hit record on the VCR and stop during commercial breaks as we watched it. And I rewatched it like 100 times after that and wore out the tapes. And the first movie in that lineup of films was none other than Godzilla's Revenge. This movie is quite a shift from the previous 9 films that came before it. No longer is Godzilla a threat to human life and an allegory for the nuclear bomb. Instead, he is a child's hero going through adventures on Monster Island. The previous film, Destroy All Monsters, was meant to be the final film for Godzilla and all previous kaiju. However, to combat the decline of Japanese cinema at the box office, Toho started a festival aimed at children 3 times a year that played feature films and shorts known as the Toho Champion Festival. The centerpiece feature was, of course, Godzilla. And so came the first Godzilla film specifically aimed at children. Gojira, Minya, Gabbro, All Monsters Attack. Now that's a mouthful, so many just refer to the film as All Monsters Attack. The story is set in the real world. Monsters only exist in movies, factories are booming, and adults work numerous hours to take care of their families. We meet Ichiro, a latchkey kid whose parents work a lot of overtime so that they can eventually get enough money to move to a more rural or suburban area. Dealing with being alone, as well as a group of bullies led by Sanko, whom everyone calls Gabbro, Ichiro lacks self-confidence, and he daydreams about Godzilla on Monster Island. At this point, we see the glaring issue with this film. Not only is all of the monster action a dream sequence, but also the budget was extremely tight. As such, the film uses a lot of stock footage from previous kaiju films, such as Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster and Son of Godzilla. They even overlaid trees during a scene where Godzilla had faced jets to make it look different than before. Ichiro then meets with the Son of Godzilla, who for the first time is given the name of Minya. Now, some of you are going to comment on how I pronounce his name. This is how it's spelled. Looking at it phonetically, one would want to say Manila, but the dub clearly says Minya. However, if you listen carefully to the Japanese version of saying it, it is clearly Minya. So for my Western tongue, I say Minya. I also want to point out that the dub incorrectly names a few monsters in this film too. Kamacuras is called Kamakura, Anguirus is called Anguillus, Gorosaurus is called Brosaurus, and Kumanga is strangely called It's Kumanga. Since this is Ichiro's dream, he can speak with Godzilla's son as they watch even more stock footage. and Minya can go from human size to his normal height at will. We're introduced to a new monster, Gabbro. Clearly this monster is how Ichiro thinks of his own bully, and boy is he one ugly mother kaiju. I mean, look at him. He's a colorful but hideously warded up toad with a strange patch of orange hair. His main attack allows him to shock opponents, which has been a bit of a weakness for Godzilla before. I have to say though, looking at Gabbro, he kind of reminds me of someone. Maybe just a coincidence. Both Ichiro and Minya deal with the parallel of learning to stand up for yourself.
Godzilla says that I should learn to fight my own battles, you know.
Against big guys?
Uh-huh.
As Minya battles against Gabbro with a little help from Godzilla, of course. Now, instead of Godzilla's battle with Gabbro being the actual climax of the film, there's a whole subplot with bank robbers that kidnap Ichiro in real life. This ends with the kid finally becoming brave enough to pull some Home Alone style tricks until the police finally arrive to save him. The next day, Ichiro finally faces off against his own Gabbro, and this fight is edited together kinda strange, using still shots during the action. Probably done to tone down any fighting scene among children, but it comes across rather sloppy. It's kind of strange to say that, considering that this film is directed by Ishiro Honda, the same guy who directed the original 1954 Godzilla film, among many others. When this film was brought over to the US, the original title was to be called Minya, Son of Godzilla. But because there was already a movie titled Son of Godzilla, All Monsters Attack was then titled Godzilla's Revenge. The only major difference made was when it was localized, that the title song was changed to a more jazzy tune. The Japanese version song has lyrics that set the stage for the world that the people live in. Other than the fact the Japanese version has better dialogue, the two films are pretty much identical. Now, I clearly am not much of a fan of this film as an adult. Knowing that the monster action is just a dream kind of disconnects the story for me. The flip side, though, I did enjoy watching this movie as a kid, not knowing any better. And when I watched this movie again for the review, I did so with my kids, and they enjoyed the monster action. In that regard, it does work well as an introduction of Godzilla to your kids. Outside that, though, you're better off watching the movies that the stock footage originally came from. And if you're really interested, the new monster action is very short, and the new footage of Godzilla appearing on screen is even less than the 2014 Godzilla. So yeah, I really can't recommend this one at all. But what do you think? Do you think this is the worst Godzilla movie of all, or is it one of your favorites? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you like this video, be sure to thumbs up and subscribe. I have many more videos coming soon, including Godzilla reviews, so stay tuned for that. And as always, until next time, till all are one.
Your folks will get kind of worried, won't they?
I don't think so. They're hardly home any time at all.